Hello, one and all. As you've noticed, but after a brief hiatus, I'm back, baby. And I wanted to talk about historical comparisons to Donald Trump. First of which is the most obvious and the one everybody keeps talking about, which is, of course, Der Fuhrer, Adolf Hitler. Now, yeah, like Hitler, Trump is racist and all that stuff. And but there are several other comparisons. Hitler didn't threaten to make war. Well, he did several times early on, but he started a lot of wars. Trump hasn't really shown much balls. He did start a lot of trade wars, though. He started a trade war with the entire world. Hitler also turned a shit economy into a great economy. Trump turned a great economy into a shit economy. Hitler served on the Western Front of World War One from start to finish. Trump had 5 draft deferments. Okay, 5. And so, and it's like, Hitler did ethnic cleansing and things like that, obviously, but enough about that cliche and honestly not a very good comparison. Let's compare him to, let's say, Idi Amin, an African dictator. Like Idi Amin, Trump is very childlike. After the Tanzanians retaliated for Uganda's invasion, they stormed Idi Amin's mansion and found little children's toys. Not only that, Idi Amin had a sex addiction and a weight problem. He also turned a great economy into a shit economy and was very xenophobic and racist, much like Donald Trump. Not only, and there's also, some people would compare him to Stalin, but he's more like a Lavrente Beria. I know I butchered that name, especially the first one, Beria, however you pronounce it. Like Beria, Trump likes purges. He also likes to cozy up and worship Russian dictators. He is all like Beria. He also proved to be very cowardly towards the end. Well, we haven't seen the end of Trump yet, but I'm pretty sure Trump would be very cowardly because we all know he is a coward. Although some people hold him up as this heroic masculine ideal, it's total bullshit. And Beria was also fond of ethnic cleansing and things like that. He was an absolute terror machine and a very prolific sexual predator, a lot like Trump. Next on the list, we have Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in Rome, who he was a real estate tycoon in Rome in the Roman days. He also liked to build walls, and unlike Trump, he actually built a wall to box in Spartacus. Trump never actually built the wall. He promised to, but he never did. Crassus actually built a damn wall. However, he obviously has contempt for poor people and things. Both of these men had contempt for poor people. They were also obsessed with money and all that shit, and being more powerful, which eventually led Crassus to disaster at Carrhae when he invaded Parthia, and his entire army of like 50,000 was destroyed. Anyway, that being said, we have another comparison, Jim Jones. I often say that Jim Jones was the woke Donald Trump. If you made Jim Jones racist and all that shit, he would be Donald Trump because, like Donald Trump, he was obsessed with, despite being left wing, he was obsessed with Hitler and viewed Hitler very positive, and both view Hitler very positively. Not only that, they also have a legion of very devoted followers and can exercise a lot of power even when not holding political office. Now, Jim Jones never ever held political office, but even when Trump doesn't hold political office, he proves he can be extremely dangerous, much like Jim Jones. And he has a legion of followers that will do his bidding no matter what he says or does, or how many times he contradicts himself through word or action. And like both of these men, were aware of of how to manipulate people, how to get people on their side, and how to get them to do what you want them to do, and convince them of obvious and blatant lies. And there are a few other comparisons I could go into, like Caligula. Caligula, he was very rich, childlike, emotionally immature, and both of these guys were party animals. They were easily distracted and were more interested in carnal pleasures than in actual governance. Both of these men were born into wealth and had very privileged upbringings and are convinced that they are the center of the universe, if not the universe itself. And they're basically overgrown, spoiled, and very dangerous children. But that's neither here nor there. I have made, there are more historical comparisons. I'd like to know what comparisons you might make and why. So leave it down in the comments section. That being said, that's all for now. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be good, y'all. Peace.